the dynamics was always very clear, and it became even more clear once they left. I think that Niall has always been like, you know, the peacemaker. You know, Switzerland, you're maybe not as close with Switzerland, but you and Switzerland could go out and get something to eat and drink without everyone else. That's what Niall always has been. And I wanted to say, it was very clear that the band wasn't coming back to me when Niall started to act very weird. Like, for the first 6-7 months of that first year, Niall was like, yeah, maybe in 15 months, yeah. And he was always like, I would love if the group got back together, like, I would come running. Then, by the time we got into that second year, towards the end of that first year, all of a sudden, Niall wouldn't answer any more questions about a reunion. Now, did he speak fondly about One Direction? Of course, but he would not speak about a reunion anymore. And people used to be like, this is like a completely different answer. That's when a lot of people knew that it was over, once Niall was like skirting around when y'all would maybe get back together. Because Harry and Niall were close, Harry probably told Niall, look, I'm not planning to come back to the group anytime soon. I want you to let you know, like, you gotta do your thing. And it proves to me with Harry showing up, and Harry only showing up to Niall's things. Like, Niall might show up to all the other boys' things. Harry only shows up for Niall. That's it. Harry and Niall, they the closest ones. Now, am I going to say they besties and bestest of friends? I don't think so, but I think that they're still friends, which is more than what the other boys could say about their relationship with Harry and vice versa. I think, like, a lot of things with One Direction got screwed up, and with Louis kind of confirming that he didn't say Harry's name, but let's be honest, who else is there that wanted to leave? Liam was talking about how at first he didn't want to go. Niall at first, like, Niall gives, like, he gonna go where to win. Niall gives, like, if y'all want to be in One Direction, cool. If y'all don't want to be in One Direction, cool. Like, Niall being the first one to drop that music, girl, he said, if y'all don't want to be in One Direction, I'm good. Like, and one thing I'm gonna give Niall, like, he sees stuff with, like, a glass half full. Like, he gonna make his way. Like, he's a hustler. He's always been my favorite. And seeing how he moved after One Direction, it's so clear when you could tell that Harry had some type of conversation with him. Because the switch up was insane. He went from, like, yeah, if the boys come calling, I'll come running, to, yeah, you know, I enjoyed my time with the boys. And then, like, the questioning was just off for Niall by year 2. I really want to say by the end of the year, but I'll let the fans have it and say by year 2, Niall was like, all right. And that's okay. I'm seeing some people say they were shocked about Louis kind of insinuating he wasn't close to Niall. I thought it was clear. Like, Niall would say he's the closest to Louis, and what I thought he was saying at that time is Louis the person that keeps in contact the most. Harry could go, we could, even as somebody that might be a Harry fan, you could go weeks and months without seeing the man and not knowing where the hell he at. So it doesn't surprise me that it might be the same way with the boys. Like, him and Niall is cool, but something tells me, like, Harry likes to live his own life. He likes to do his own shit separate from his friends. I don't even think that's like a Niall thing. I think any one of Harry's friends could be like, yeah, I haven't heard or seen from this man in a couple weeks, maybe a text, but we're not gonna randomly be texting back and forth once a week. Only thing I don't appreciate is I wish Harry had been man enough to just say what he really was thinking. One thing I cannot stand is people doing shit and I think they being sneaky. I think Harry was trying to be sneaky. Zayn found out and Zayn beat him to it. Do I like the way Zayn left the group? No. But looking back on it, seeing what I'm gonna be honest, I knew Harry was the one that wanted to leave the group because Zayn did an interview about this years ago, or like a year or two ago. He had said something similar. He said there's been contracts, people not signing their contracts. I said, oh, Harry trying to pull a Camila, which is fine. But for Zayn to have taken all of that blame at the time, and I get it, he left in the middle of a tour. To me, I would have done the same shit. You not signing your contract, you trying to leave the group, and you think I'm gonna wait until you leave the group to make me be singing in the background like I'm a backup dancer? No. And Zayn was rightfully right for doing that. What I didn't like was Zayn trash talking 1D with the whole real music and all that extra shit. But I think that the boys were mad at each other. It was obvious the boys didn't want to talk to Zayn. It was a clear period where it was giving they was ignoring that man. Only Liam was trying to understand where Zayn was coming from. Even Louis, they wasn't trying to understand, and even fans wasn't trying to understand. So, you know, I'm glad everybody is, you know, in a place where they're at least cool. Do I think everybody's friends? No. But do I think everyone has made their peace? Yes.